Amaranthe is a world in recovery. Only a century ago, the people of Amaranthe were starved of divine magics, relying on their own ingenuity and the arcane to create and prosper where the gods were missing. But not all was so straightforward. Necromancy and the twisting of life by the weave has run rampant for millennia. The War of the Dead, a coup attempt by a powerful group of necromantic wizards to take over the powers in Amaranthe, was only barely thwarted, and the scars of those battles still mar the landscape. Skeletons and ghouls, wraiths and walking corpses aimlessly wander, seeking sustenance or the chance to capture a new soul, attacking innocents and towns at random. For centuries, the world was in strife, as all the nations fought together to defeat the threat of undeath, and they were losing. Finally, the fall happened. A great asteroid fell into the crystal ocean, and with it, the gods returned. Immediately, they began purging the land of the walking dead. Skeletons and zombies immediately destroyed, as those lost souls were restored by the patient, guiding hands of the Raven Queen and Killenvor. With the return of the gods, the efforts of a group of heroes known as the Wanderers, and the appearance of a group of refugees, the practice of the divine magics were restored, and clerics and paladins of all faiths emerged stronger than ever before. 100 years later, as the landscape has continued its recovery, new and troubling issues begin to arise. A tentative Cold War brews between the floating lands of Zephyr and the Arcanatech nation of Ceres, and the world is slowly but certainly being separated to two sides, as new technologies and their abilities seem to outweigh the practical ease and yet complexity of old magics. But our story does not look to these countries or even their problems. In a world filled with stories, Amaranthe always has a different tale to tell of life or death, of heroes and villains, but not this one. Instead, this story focuses on a young druid aboard a small trading vessel as it pulls into port at the Aurelian town of Faerûn. The town of Faerûn brings a single word to your mind: salt. The town smells of it. The air is rich from the crystal ocean, blended unceremoniously with the smells of fish being sold at the pier, and the acrid burn of forges being stoked nearby. You arrive with a goal, stepping off of your ship and stepping onto the dock. No one seems to pay you any mind, your captain wishing you farewell, and your eyes resting on all folks of all kinds. You watch a drider stringing a sail atop a mast, an absurdly wide hat atop his head. An elf nearby is shouting vulgarity at you as you ignore the tuna he proudly displays. Is there anything you wish to do now that you've stepped on the dock in Faerûn?
It stinks.
It does. It smells of fresh and dead fish everywhere, and the dock underneath your feet is wet and soft wood.
Anything else? Is there a perception check I need to do?
You can roll one if you'd like to. If you want to get a good look
Okay,
around.
what do I do?
On Roll20, write /D20, and then look at your character sheet and look for your perception bonus under your skills.
Perception. +5. And for perception, what else?
Right, so on Roll20, just roll a D20 and add 5 to the total.
Oops. Lost. 18.
That's pretty good. The streets of Faerûn around you are busy with the signs of early morning market. You see a lot of people selling their wares. You see a lot of sailors unloading and loading ships with cargo. You see in the distance stout, tall towers that reach over buildings on the other side of town. You notice that the town has walls that seem like they're very heavily scarred. It looks like this city has seen a lot of combat, both from the inside and the out.
Can I take a look?
What are you looking for specifically? Are you looking for some place or someone to ask or something like that?
Someone to ask for direction.
You can just... It is very busy. It would be easy to just stop someone.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm so new to this.
It's okay. What question are you looking the answer for?
Well, what is my goal here exactly?
This town is where the Marigard Academy is settled, and your goal is to get there.
Okay. Okay, then I'm going to ask... Maybe that elf that was swearing... where the academy is.
Sure, you approach the fish salesman, the tall, slender elf. You get closer, this guy is missing an eye. He's covered in scars. It's hard to tell how old elves are, but this one looks like he's been on the ocean for most of his life. And you step up and he says, "Aye, would you like some trout then?"
No, I'm actually looking for the academy.
You're a bit daft, aren't you? It's that big tall thing over there. And he points at the tall, steepled towers on the other side of town.
I scrunch my nose up at him and I walk that direction. Have a good day.
No use, are you? And he just gets back. He goes back to looking for other people to sell fish to. You get the impression he's probably not the best salesman. So you're heading toward the Marigard Academy that he pointed you to?
Yes.
Okay. You stride through the cobbled streets of Faerun. And as you get closer, you notice those towers are mounted on battlements with matriculations. It's a fortress. And atop those towers are banners, emblazoned with the three-pronged symbol of the Marigard Academy. And your pace quickens. It's only minutes later that you find yourself at the front gatehouse, the bustling town behind you. It's only here that you pause, looking into the gatehouse, and listen. And the Marigard Academy is everything you heard it was. A stout, gray stone keep is sentineled by spires on all four corners, arrow-slit windows on the first floor, and protecting battlements both on the inside and the out remark of a history to all the structures. The main keep itself appears only 2 or 3 stories in height, though it's very wide. You can't really tell how big it is from here. Trees and archery butts on the inside of the walls block your view after a certain ways. To the sides of a stone path ahead of you, you see the grounds of the academy are well kept, flat stretches of grass that appear to either be tended by careful hands or by the horses that you can hear chuffing and pacing within a large stable to your right inside the walls. Short fences and paddocks weave between high trees and boulders throughout the grounds to your left, some of which show signs of heavy wear or practice. Banners of the Marigard hang from each spire and flap lazily in the breeze, the sunlight dancing across the crimson fabric. The spires bastion the keep, and they reach high above the walls with large windows, and within those windows you see flashes of colorful light and bouts of smoke. Your ears fill with the symphony of effort. The sounds of clashing blades and shouted commands echo from the training yards. Resounding thunder and staccato thumps accompany smoke that rises from the keep, and you witness lights dropping from the skies in places you can't quite see. You take a deep breath, the air much fresher here inside the walls than it was at the docks, and you are nearly startled out of your clothes by a voice. "Ah, I do hope you are nearly as brilliant as you look, darling. Still, You lack a certain edge. A shame, really. And you turn to see a woman who is looking at you. Velvet of dark blue reaches from the stone path to a black veil, accentuated by pale calfskin gloves that reach beyond her elbows. Her fingers gently pressed to a chin you cannot see. Pure white eyes peer from beneath a veil, and you swear they hint of a small smile. A new hopeful, I presume. Only those who yearn to join look so distracted. She turns, revealing cascading white hair that flows from beneath that veil, and she glides along the path toward the keep. Her smooth gown is only just drifting above the stone. Under enough scrutiny, you can only barely hear the clacks of heels on the cobble. I pray you do enjoy the view, as I certainly have, she adds over her shoulder. You watch as she floats to the door and enters the keep. And for the moment, you're alone.
Well, that was odd. I'm assuming that's the headmaster?
It could be someone.
I'm going to follow her in.
When you enter the keep, and you push through these huge wooden doors mounted there easily 3 times your height. You're entering into a great hall, it seems like. You are greeted with noise and banners. This entry hall is well lit, and you see a number of candles lit along the walls to the sides. Artwork of individuals of all races, each bearing all manner of equipment and expressions in their own portraits, stare at you expectantly. The sounds of conversation fill the hall in front of you, but you can't see quite where it's all coming from. You are immediately presented with a dwarf seated at a wide desk in front of you. It takes a moment, and you see he is patiently writing with a quill on parchment. Thin spectacles hang atop a scarred nose, and a wiry gray brow furrows underneath thick salt and pepper hair, drawn into braids that lace behind him, and he's working on a note.
Hello, my name is Frikka Otokun. I'm here to join the academy.
He doesn't seem to quite notice you. He's working on the note, and a moment passes. When he finally finishes the note, he sets the quill down, and when you are a little closer, you notice his beard and his mustache are braided with beads so heavily that they kind of click when he talks as they tap against the desk. And he says, "Aye, greetings, and welcome. A new recruit, you said?"
Aye.
All right. You're going to... You see that door to your left? And he points to a door you can clearly see. And he says, "That's the selection room. You're going to have a conversation with Maxwell, pay him, and then select your training for the year.
Okay.
First, they'll sign here." And he passes what looks like a ledger to you.
Oh, okay. I look for a quill and ink.
He offers it to you.
Okay. I'm going to sign my name in a very fine elvish cursive.
Okay. You kind of try to show off a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. It is a beautiful signature, and by comparison, some of the other ones look absolutely mediocre.
Alrighty then. I'll just be on my way.
Thank you, and good luck.
Mark.
And he goes back to his papers.
Okay, I awkwardly usher myself to the door.
Sure. The door is shut, but it's easy to push open. You enter the selection room. You are greeted by another, a slender human man who's reading a book. This one would have slipped your notice had you not heard him speak to you. Clean-shaven, with alert eyes that, while he might be smiling, they are not.
Ah! Welcome. A prospect, I hope. By all means, take a look at the table and choose by which means you would like your year to go. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer. I'm Maxwell.
I quietly look at the table.
The table before you is sturdy wood, but it is laden. You see from left to right an assortment of equipment, each with a small inscription detailing the training course provided and the instructor. A two-handed axe lays across the table, shining, sharp, and new, the haft of well-oiled hickory. The inscription says, Barbarian Training, Torin. Next is a well-made flute, its fittings silver and glistening and labeled with Bard, Tally. And then a small, ornately crafted crossbow, small enough to be used with one hand, labeled Blood Hunter, Nile. It goes all the way down the line, a unique piece of equipment for each line of training, ending with Wizard, Tabernacle.
What other items?
Well, there is, if you're looking for one in particular, there is one for each class. The druid has a finely wrought staff that looks like it's coated in fresh bark. There's still some sap on it. The one for sorcerer looks like a ball. It looks very plain and unextraordinary. The one for fighter looks like a uniquely made longsword. There's one for each of the 12.
Okay. I quietly, with my hands behind my back, just look at all the ones, trying to see which. Of course, the one that calls to me is the staff. And I reach out to it. I look at Maxwell, kind of to see if
He's kind of coolly smiling at you, waiting to see what you pick.
I pick the staff.
You pick it up?
For Druid.
Sure.
Yep.
You notice that it says the druid training is under by someone in the name of Folly. Maxwell, seeing you selected, says,
Ah! An excellent choice. I see appearances are not quite so apparent. I thought something else of you.
And he holds out a hand and says,
100 gold, please, for your stay.
You do have that.
Do I have any money?
You have.
Okay,
you have
I was like, did I come here broke?
You might have, but you,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I rummage through my belongings and I pull out 100 coins.
Ah. Excellent.
Or not 100 gold coins.
In order, I have one more signature for you.
And he pulls out another board, this one with a much smaller ledger. And he's pointing to sign it in another spot.
Can I make a perception check for any fine print?
Sure. Roll an investigation check.
Okay. Which one is that?
That it's on your skill page. It's just investigation.
Oh, so it's just D20 again with
that bonus, yeah.
Okay. 11.
This ledger, it's smaller. It's the parchment itself is actually smaller. There is less written on this ledger. The other one was tracking everyone who came in and out of the academy. This ledger is just labeled recruits. That's all it says. You don't see any small print anywhere. You see a list of lines, and you see 2 other names. One of them appears to be just a thumbprint, and the one below that just says Carlton.
Carlton. Okay. I sign my name the same as I did outside.
With the flourish.
Yes, with the flourish. Maybe even add a little heart if I have to.
You can do whatever you like. As soon as you are done with your signature, he puts the board away and he says, "Excellent. Now, do you have any questions about the academy before I point you to your instructor?"
Do you guys come with a map?
I'm afraid not. It is a bit of a labyrinth. I've had that conversation with the headmaster before, but he told me to suck it up.
Okay. I think that's...
All right, then follow me.
And he kind of leads you out the door. And as he's walking by the dwarf, he says,
"A druid, Persh. You owe me."
And the dwarf kind of grunts, and he leads you past. He takes you down a long hall, and there are doors on... it's like every 2 feet there's a door. You're not entirely certain how that's possible. It's unless they're all closets. That's really bizarre. But he finally leads to a door that is unmarked, but you notice that there are some flowers and grass growing on the corners of the door. And he says,
"And here you are. Now, for your first month or so
Thank
here,
you.
this is going to be a bit of a maze, but you will grow accustomed to it."
And he kind of pushes the door open for you.
I poke my head in and look around.
You are looking upon a sanctuary. The ceiling is missing, and the dim hall you were just in makes your eyes ache as daylight fills your eyes from this courtyard. Ornaments and topiaries line the walls, and in the center you see raised stone and earth in pillars cut into hexagonal shapes that interlock. Cool water hangs in the air, and your ears fill with the sounds of a flowing creek nearby. And as you look, you notice a figure seated beneath a tree that's in the corner of the room, all of which this has grown inside this courtyard. And you hear Maxwell's voice in your ear say,
"Well, best to make a good impression."
Let's see. I lead by asking, "Hello, is there anybody in here?"
The figure is maybe a good 60 feet away from you, and you hear him say,
"Ah, are you here with my delivery?"
And he's gazing at you. And you get a good look. This creature is a furbolg, tall, with long limbs and an almost lanky shape to him. His bristling brown hair hides 2 drooping ears and a set of short antlers. And he has smiling eyes of forest green, and they watch you, patiently waiting your response.
I'm the new, Frikka Autocon is my name.
"Oh, excellent. I haven't had a new pupil in...
And while he's thinking, Maxwell says, "I'll leave you to it." And he shuts the door behind you as you're in this courtyard. The furbolg kind of gets lost in a train of thought, and then he steps up and says,
"Well, it's been a while. I'm Folly Clearwater, but you can just call me Folly."
He offers a hand.
Is there anything else? I shake his hand.
Sure.
Awkwardly.
Excellent. Is there anything else? What?
Is there anything else I can look at? Can I roll a perception check?
Sure, you can look around.
Uh... 12.
A 12. This courtyard is beautiful. You see all sorts of different elements of the elements all over the place. You see trees that reach up high with canopies that nearly crest the roof of the building. You see that these earth pillars that are in the middle are of different heights. And with a 12, you notice that some of them are scarred and show signs of damage, like spells were cast. And you get the impression that everything in this courtyard, while it is very natural, is there for a purpose. And Folly says, "So, did you come as a druid, or are you hoping to collect, learn the ways of the nature? I see you're a little touched."
I'm hoping to learn.
He's pointing at your arm.
Oh, yeah, it's an old act. It happened a while ago.
I understand. Well, there's a lot to teach you. What do you already know?
I can grow flowers on my arm, I guess.
That is an excellent start. Have you learned the trick to taking on an animal form?
No, I have not.
Then we have a road, but it's not an impossible one. I have you... What was your name was Frikka?
Frikka, yes.
I have you for a year. Over that year, I'm going to teach you how to be a druid. And then, once that year is up, and you take your test, you're kind of on your own. Like, you're welcome to come by and ask questions, but I've got to set the ground rules for you, like the groundwork, so you know what you're doing, and also how to act as a contractor of the Marigard, because that's really my responsibility, is to teach you to be a good team member. You know what I mean? And that can be kind of a drag.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lot of druids come here and they don't really like people, and I totally get it. He doesn't really say anything.
Yeah, definitely more of an animal person myself.
Oh, I feel ya. So, the first thing we have to do is sort out your animal shape. Which one is your go-to? Because that's really going to determine how you fight or how you contribute to your team.
What are my choices?
Man, that's rough. What have you seen already? So let's see here. I know you can turn into like a badger or a horse, or like I've seen him turn into elk. What else is there? You could be a cat. Those are cute. Not really effective. Giant badger. That's just a regular badger, but bigger. A wolf. That's a popular one. A lot of the real guys that like to wear dark
What about
clothes.
an eagle?
A what?
An eagle?
Well, I can turn into an eagle, but I'm afraid you have to get a little bit more in tune with nature to pull off a flying creature. Out of character, you have to be level 8 to turn into a flying animal.
Oh, jeez, okay.
Yeah.
I think the horse sounds the best for me right now.
Yeah, that's a good call. It's not like a badass fighting horse, but it's a horse and your friends can ride you. And you can take that for whatever you like. And so,
Total bonus.
So you, out of character, your beast shapes are anything with a challenge rating of a quarter, and it does not have a flying or a swimming speed. That includes a baboon, a badger, a cat, a deer, a giant fire beetle, a goat, a hyena, a jackal, a lizard, a rat, a scorpion, a spider, a camel, a giant rat, a pony, a boar, a horse, an elk, a badger, a giant badger, like you said, a giant wolf spider, a panther, a wolf, an axebeak. The fuck is an axebeak?
What is an axebeak?
Is that a fucking ostrich? It is basically it's basically an ostrich. Okay.
Oh my god, okay, I might change my mind. Maybe I want to be an axebeak.
It's an emu! It's a large beast. It has a melee beak weapon attack. It's got a decent amount of hit points for what it is, but it has no armor. Its armor class is 11. So, what Folly is asking is he wants you to focus on either an animal or an animal type, and that's what you're going to be jumping into for your training. You don't have to pick that. You don't have to pick that now.
Okay.
So, this is just your very first day, and he's just trying to get a feel for what you know. You can turn into a dog. You can turn into a mastiff.
Oh, shit.
That's cool.
What are the bonuses on that? The stats, I mean.
Let's see here. Mastiff. It's a big-ass dog. Mastiffs are impressive hounds. Yeah, I know. Okay. They have an armor class of 12. They have a hit points of 5. Not great. They're fast. Their move speed is 40 feet. They have keen hearing and smell. The Mastiff has advantage on perception checks based on hearing or smells, that's good. They also have a bite attack, which can knock people prone. It seems decent. Doesn't seem fantastic, but it seems okay. That perception check is good. But I think a wolf does the same thing.
Yeah.
Because a wolf is just a more badass dog. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Yeah, a wolf has more armor, more hit points, and it has the same perception bonus, and its attack does way more. So, if you're going to do that, I might as well just go to a wolf. Let's see.
Right.
I know the big creatures like elks, horse, or a draft horse or a riding horse, they have charge attacks or trample attacks. If you're looking for the combat side of things. Creatures like wolves and spiders and beetles and things like that, they have other advantages. Like, wolves could get the advantage on perception checks and things like that. And badgers can burrow, things like that.
With such a list, it's hard to choose.
It's true. But he's asking, like, if your team gets in a tough spot, what is the animal that you're going to jump to deal with that?
Okay, What are elk good for?
Elk.
Because of their antlers and stuff, can they do anything?
Elk can ram. Elk can do charge attacks. Elk can be ridden like a horse. Elks have the same hit points as a wolf. If the elk moves at least 20 feet straight toward a target and then hits it, the target takes an extra 2d6 damage. If the target is a creature, it must then succeed on a saving throw or be knocked prone. The elk has the ram attack, and it also has a hooves attack. Elks have a pretty high moving speed of 50 feet. I think that's the same as a horse. So they're kind of like a horse, except not like a horse, because they have a charge attack, and they have a little bit less health. I think a horse has a few more hit points. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look that up real quick.
Okay, well... okay.
Yeah, a draft horse is slower, but has more health by like 2 hit points. And does not have a charge attack. So that's the big difference. Elk's a little faster, has a little bit less health, has a charge attack. When you are in a wild
I'm gonna have to go with elk.
Okay. When you are in a wild shape, and like if you take damage that knocks you out of your wild shape, you go back to the hit points you were as a person. But the damage carries over.
Okay.
So like if your elk has 13 hit points and you take 15, your elk will go away, and then you as a person will take 2 points of damage.
Okay, that makes sense.
So your fallback is an elk?
Yes, my fallback is an elk.
Okay. So, over the next year, you learn what it means to be a druid. You learn how to communicate with nature, how to commune with the Wild Mother, how to bend the world to what you need. And you do it with the help of folly. I would like you to roll me an intelligence check, a wisdom check, and a survival check.
Okay.
So what that means is an intelligence...
Can you do that all in one roll?
No. An intelligence check is just going to be a d20 plus your intelligence bonus.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll that.
That's the intelligence check.
Damn, that's a good one. 18.
That was a good roll.
With a +1, that's good. Alright. You take what Folly's telling you to heart, and it makes sense. You get a good grasp of the magics that you're capable of as a druid, and you understand how to channel them well. Folly is impressed with how quickly you pick up what he's trying to get across to you. It's pretty painless, and you learn that druids in the Marigard Academy often take on both a frontline job as one of the main brawlers with a group, and also as an investigator, helping seek out information and hunt down or track things that need to be found. Go ahead and roll me that nature check, it should be on your skill list, it's just nature.
Okay.
Eight. The practical application of your wild shapes does not go quite as smoothly. You have a little bit of a difficult time grasping the different uses of your different animal forms that you can take. And one by one, Folly brings in or turns into all sorts of different creatures so that you have seen and understand what they do. You don't quite learn what all of them do, so you do not have access to some of the more exotic beast shapes, but that's okay. Go ahead and roll me, lastly, that survival check.
Okay. This should be good. 24.
That is indeed good.
After that hiccup, dealing with the different wild shapes, you finally, you settle, you basically tell Folly, I'm going to stick with elk. And Folly's like, okay, that's fine. After a while, towards the end of your training, you start going into the other skills. How to be a druid without turning into an animal. How to track those that are important, or turning into the animals that can help you find people or things, and how to communicate with creatures that you find in the wild without getting yourself bitten or chased down. And you excel at this. This is something that you have no problems doing. It's something you've always liked to do. Ever since you were a kid, you've always been fond of animals, and this is your element. After a year passes, Moo going every day, waking up early in the morning, working with Folly until the evening, and then spending what free time you have either recovering in your dorm or spending some time in Ferrum or out in the forests to the sides. You finally reach the day that Folly pulls you aside and he says, Frikka, you've done well. I feel pretty damn confident that you're going to make a good team member. But tomorrow is your trial. And I hope you're ready. I think you are. But I've been wrong. But I've been right. Maybe this isn't helpful. What I want is for you to know I think you can do it. And I'll be here. If you don't quite make it, I'll be here to help you with another year of training.
Not good at all.
I'm sorry, you cut out there.
Not good on the nerves, are you, Folly?
No. But I have, I can make you some tea. Would that help?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Well, don't forget, after the trial is the fall ceremony, and then you're assigned a team. So I'll be rooting for you. So this is something you've heard of, the fall ceremony. The fall is a holiday. It is literally just a day called the fall, and all of the new teams that are formed in the Merigard Academy collect, and they are set loose in the town of Ferrum, and all the gates in Ferrum are shut, and all sorts of creatures and beasts are let loose on the streets of Ferrum, and your team has to collect certain mementos from each of the creatures. The means of which you do that is up to your team, but you know that not every team makes it, and not every team comes back entirely whole. It's a harrowing ceremony, but it's probably one of the biggest sources of fame teams at the Merigard can earn from.
Definitely nervous.
Well, just take a deep breath. Remember your exercises. Don't forget to breathe. And you got this.
Breathe. Okay.
Now, I'll see you early in here tomorrow morning, and we'll begin your trial.
Alright. We got this.
Alright, go get some sleep, and I'm rooting for you. Is there anything you want to do before the next day? You have a little bit of downtime. Technically,
Maybe wander the I don't know if there's really anything to do yet.
Technically, you've had downtime this whole year after each training session. So, is there anything you wanted to have done over the year?
No, I think most main goal was, and I didn't really have much else on my mind.
Just to get yourself to learn to be a druid. Okay.
Yep.
Well, it's almost up. So,
In that case, you return to your dorm. It's only a short walk. It's only a hallway away from where you know Folly's courtyard is. And the dorm is kind of separated by training regimen, and you're the only druid right now being recruited. So the druid dorm is, there's like 5 cots in here. Yours is the only one that's occupied. And you know that if you do become a contractor, you'll get your own room. And you're looking forward to that. Although it's not so bad, you kind of have your own room as it is anyway.
Yeah.
So, you go ahead and collect yourself. Go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay.
$19.
19. Yep.
You settle your mind. And your fears and concerns and your worries about after this whole year of training, you feel stronger. You feel smarter. You remember what he's taught you. And that little voice in the back of your head that tries to tell you you should be concerned, you just squash it. You're fine. It's no big deal. You got this. And you take a deep breath and you lay down, and 8 hours pass and you wake up feeling refreshed and ready to go.
Let's do this.
Okay, so you return to you return to the courtyard. You open the door. The courtyard is missing. It is no longer the cheerful, calm, just open, natural area with the creek and the pillars. Now all you see is a short corridor made of grass and a left turn ahead of you.
Oh, okay, this is odd. I go in.
You step in. As soon as you step in, the door shuts behind you and vanishes.
A little panic. Just a little. Hello? Not sure what's going on here. Hello?
Roll a perception check.
Okay.
A
9. Crap.
Directly ahead of you is a wall made of grass. You see it reaches up about 15 feet, and above it you just see open area. You still see daylight, but you don't know where it's coming from because above that grass wall you see cobbled stone. You see a ceiling.
Does the grass look different?
Is
there anything about the plant life in the room?
You look straight down. There is no grass. You're standing on stone. And only the walls around you are made of grass, and when you look closer, it appears to be either dead or dying grass. It's all kind of withered, light green, yellowing.
I put my hand out to touch it.
It's stiff and kind of prickly. It's very much that stiff sensation you get from pushing into dead grass.
Huh. There was a left hall open.
You see that, yeah, there's a turn to the left.
Okay, I'm gonna take that turn, or peer down that hallway.
You look down that hallway. Roll me another perception check.
Okay. 12.
12? With a 12, you hear from the corner, you're not sure what that is. But you look down this hall, it's just it's longer than you think it should be. It seems like it's over 60 feet long. And it just looks exactly uniform. Grass walls on both sides, stone ground. And do you start pushing down it?
I'm gonna draw my staff and push down towards in the hall.
As soon as you start moving, you hear more of that. And then at the corner, you see that this hall ends and there's a left turn and a right turn. You see light moving a little bit.
I'm gonna take a look down either hall. Should I roll another perception?
You move down and then you take a look. So before that happens, when you move up to get a look down both those halls, roll me a nature check.
Oh yeah. Okay. $21.
The strange noise that you hear and the way the light is moving, that you know exactly what that is. You remember Folly telling you about it to look for them in dark forests. There is a giant fire beetle or two coming around. And as you approach that corner, you see it. It's a big, yellowish black bug with 6 legs, and it's pushing up to you. And as soon as it spots you, it kind of... and it starts moving up to you to try and get a bite out of you. So, go ahead and roll me a d20 plus your initiative bonus. Because you are now in combat.
Oh boy, okay. Where's the initiative?
It's at the top of your sheet. It just says initiative. Initiative bonus or initiative.
Oh, I don't have any. So I just roll a.
It's
just roll a d20.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. I get 16.
Okay. Unfortunately, the beetle goes first. You notice that this beetle is shedding.
Okay.
It's emitting bright light in all directions around itself, and it only noticed you because you came up to the corner. It would not have even seen you, but now it's right up in front of you and it's running up to you. It's going to take a bite out of you. Does a 15 hit you? What is your AC?
So yes, it hits me.
You take 2 points of slashing damage as this beetle just kind of jumps forward and bites into your leg. And this beetle, it's a small creature, but for a beetle, that's freaking huge. It's kind of the size of a small dog, and it's taken a bite out of your ankle. And it is now your turn.
Ow! Okay. Let's see, I have 3 spells. I'd like to cast 30 feet.
What spell?
Animal friendship.
Animal friendship.
See, this spell lets you convince. Yeah, this spell lets you convince if you mean it no harm. Choose a beast that you can see within range. Oh, the save DC?
Yes.
It's a 13.
That's what I need. Okay, so I have to beat a 13 with this giant fire beetle. Let me tell you,
okay.
I am not confident this beetle will make it.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 2 minus 2. So I rolled a 0.
Okay.
So,
are we friends?
This beetle, who has just locked its mandibles around your ankle,
it kind of backs off and looks up at you. And then it just kind of walks to the left a little bit. It doesn't really know what to do now.
Can I check the wound? Is there anything wrong with the wound?
It's a small bite. It hurts. You're not infected or anything. It just seemed like piercing damage. The beetle did not put any poison or anything.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, I give the little beetle a pat on the head and I go about my way.
It kind of... And it's following you.
Oh no.
You do notice that this beetle is emitting bright light in a 10-foot radius around it, and dim light for an additional 10 feet around that. So it's kind of this little beacon following you around. So you can see really well now.
Yeah. What else is in here?
I don't know.
I'm still heading to the left, I believe.
Okay. You push on to the left. You roll me another perception check.
Okay. $15.
15. With a 15, you notice that this left, it immediately runs down to the left again, and then it locks back up into a wall. It's a dead end.
Okay, time to backtrack then.
You could look closer, but you don't see anything of interest here.
Yeah, actually, what's at the end of the hallway? Besides a wall. I want to go see the end of the hallway.
Roll an investigation check.
Okay. Okay. 13.
13.
Mm-hmm.
You notice a little in the light from that beetle. He lets this beetle actually makes it possible to catch this. That glowing light flashes off something glass that you see on the ground in the corner at the end of the hall. It's like nestled up into the grass wall. It's just a hint of glass.
Just a hint of glass. Okay. I'm going to slowly go towards that glass figure on the ground.
You get close, and it appears it's round. It seems like it's just stuck in the wall. It's down at the bottom corner.
Can I grab it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You pull.
I'm gonna reach out and touch it. See if it does anything.
You just touch it. Nothing happens. It's cold to the touch.
Okay.
Roll me an investigation
I'm gonna grab
check.
it then.
Real quick, roll me an investigation check
Okay.
as you're investigating the glass thing.
20 plus. Okay.
Another 13.
13.
It appears to be
Yep.
a vial for some sort of potion. You don't see anything weird about it.
Alright. Is there anything like residue inside?
You see something inside it, yeah. It's kind of dull red to the color. You can't really see it with it stuck in the grass wall like this.
Okay. I'm gonna try and pick it up.
You try and pull it out of the wall.
Yep.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Curiosity always kills. And I have a fucking 0, so it's just a d20.
8.
I get an 8.
8.
Fuck.
You take 2 points of poison damage as a small cloud just
emerges from this hole. As when you pull this vial, it's clearly a healing potion, and there was a small thread tied around the neck of the vial. And when you pulled it out, you triggered the gas trap.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna get out of there.
Yeah, the beetle's kind of watching you do this, like...
Far away from the... Like, what are you doing, dumbass? Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Okay. So,
yeah, I'm gonna get out of that hallway.
Okay. You now have a potion of lesser healing.
Okay.
So that you have that.
Is this poison damage? Is it over time, or is it just that one?
It's just once.
Oh, okay. Alright. Well, I'm gonna go the right then, still coughing.
Okay. You go to the right, and it's a longer hallway. You see reflected on the ceiling, you see a couple more instances of glowing light that look like more beetles down one hallway to you, immediately again to your right. And then ahead of you, you see another kind of dead end, but it kind of looks like there's a darker spot toward the bottom of the wall ahead of you.
Am I allowed to send the beetle?
You can
I don't think I can control the beetle.
It's friendly to you. You can kind of convince it to do stuff, but it's a beetle. It's really stupid.
Okay, I was about to say, like, I don't actually know if I can tell it to do anything, but can I, like,
it doesn't
I don't
really
have
understand
anything.
what you're saying, but it likes you.
Can I pick it up?
Sure.
I mean, it'll follow me.
It's about 30 pounds.
But, like, okay, that's a little heavy.
It's a big beetle.
Never mind. It is a big beetle. That's heavy for a small dog.
It's not. It's more like it's like a medium small dog. It's a.
Okay. All right. So it's not like lap dog.
No,
it's definitely.
I would say it's maybe
okay. I'm
2 feet in length and a foot wide.
Oh, okay. All right. That puts a little bit more. Let's see. I don't have anything that. This is another spell slot though. And is there any? Can I roll another perception check to see if there's anything else around that dark area?
Sure.
Just around.
A 15.
15.
As you approach it to get a better look and the beetle follows you, the light kind of illuminates what you're looking at, and you see there is actually an opening in the bottom of that wall, but it is much too small for you to fit through. It's only a foot wide.
Only a foot wide. Perhaps that's where the beetles are coming out of? I don't want to stick my face in there.
Roll an intelligence check.
Ah, crap. Yeah.
Or a nature check. Either one.
You know, they're both gonna end probably the same, so let's just do intelligence.
A 7.
Yeah.
7. This hole is square in shape. It looks like it was cut.
Okay.
That's what you can tell with a 7.
Are there any rocks around that I can toss down to see how deep it goes?
There's some loose cobble you could pick up off the ground.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna give it a good old toss down and see if I can hear it hit anything. Hopefully nothing.
So you throw it. It's kind of a hole in the grass wall, and it bounces off the floor, and you hear it just, and it lands immediately on the other side of the wall. It doesn't seem like it hits anything aside from the floor.
Would I be able to fit?
You would not. You are a medium creature.
Okay.
You are too wide.
Okay. What about... No, because the beetle... Would the beetle... Could I get him to go down there?
He would fit. You have to... You could kind of just shove him in there.
I'm gonna have to shove him in there. I'm just gonna, like, push him in there
He's
to
not
see if I
really
can get him to light up
resisting.
the area.
He doesn't really know what you're doing, but he goes in. After he realizes that's what you're trying to do, he just kind of walks in, and you hear him... And he's... appears to be on the other side of the wall now.
Okay.
You see light.
What's he lighting up? Can I roll a perception check?
You bend down and look through the hole.
Yeah.
Roll a perception.
Okay. 10.
10. You see he is illuminating, it looks like more hallway. You see cobble, and you see grass wall, and the hole is small, and it's like a thick wall that it cuts through. It seems like it's like a little tunnel in the wall, and it seems like it's maybe 3 feet long. So you don't actually get a good view of what's in there. But the beetle, you see it kind of wandering around over there, and it kind of looks back through the hole at you.
Is there anything else in that room?
In the room you're in right now?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Not the
You
one
hear
the beetle's
those-
in, but the one I...
You hear those other 2 beetles walking down that other passage, and that's it.
Is there... Can I move... Can I make the hole bigger?
It's kind of thick grass. You can try, but it seems like it would be a pain in the ass to do. But if you have a cutting implement, maybe, or if you can try carving it.
Do have a dagger on...
Yeah, you can give it a shot.
Okay. What do I do?
Roll. You're just gonna hack away at the hole.
What?
You're gonna
Cut out.
You're hacking away at the hole.
Yeah.
Roll an attack.
Okay. Would that be strength?
So if you look at your actions, and you see attack,
Yeah.
you see your options to attack with, and dagger is one of them. So then you see it says
Oh, right.
hit/DC is +2. It's going to be a D20 +2.
Okay.
A
13.
You hit the wall. Go ahead and roll damage, which is 1d4.
Oh.
1 damage. The dagger's sharp, and it cuts away a few, like a big tuft of the grass, and then you watch as the grass immediately grows back.
Oh. Huh. There was only 2 hallways, and one gave me a good old gassing, and then the other...
Don't be afraid to ask me questions if you're stuck.
Okay, yeah, I'm stuck.
Okay. Do you want to put it in the hands of your character? Because your character knows things that you don't know. And to represent that, you roll checks. So if you want to go back on things that your character might have already learned, it's intelligence-based checks, like history or nature or religion or medicine or whatever the topic is. And in this case, this would be a history check. Go ahead and roll me a history check.
Okay. Is history on the...
It's on your skill sheet.
It is. Here it is. This one. It got a 3.
You kind of think about it, and you're like, you don't really... Frikka doesn't really know.
She's never encountered this sort of thing before, but you do remember this is a test of your abilities as a druid.
Okay. Man, is there anything I can cast that would involve plant?
There's Druidcraft, which lets you kind of alter plants a little bit, but it's just a little bit. It's like a cantrip, so it's very minor. What's your... Are you trying to get through the hole, or are you trying to make the hole bigger, or...
Yeah, I'm trying to make the hole big enough for me to at least squeeze through.
It might work if you made yourself smaller.
I can do that.
You are a druid. You can turn into all sorts of animals of different shapes and sizes.
I can't I? Okay.
And you did watch a fire beetle walk through it, and you can turn into that.
Alright. I'm trying to find it.
Here, let me give you this. This might help. It's a list of beast shapes.
Okay.
There you go. Go ahead and click on that, and you can see what you can turn into at your level.
I am going to... Wild shape, that's what it's...
Yes. It takes an action, and then you become...
As an action... Yes. So then I'm going to turn into a fire beetle.
You're turning into a giant fire beetle? Okay. Conveniently,
Yep, giant fire.
I have the stats for that right here.
Yeah! It works out!
Okay, so... I will tell you what your numbers are when you need them. So, you can easily fit through as a giant fire beetle. You feel the strange kind of... It feels like a weird massage as your muscles kind of bend and shape, and then you are now much closer to the ground. And you realize that you're emitting light in all directions, and you can see pretty clearly. You actually, now that you are a fire beetle, you get a sense of, you can almost feel through the vibrations in the ground exactly where the other beetle is. And he's looking at you like, what the hell? And then you sense 3 other beetles, only one of them 15 feet away, and then the other 2 20 feet away in that next hallway. And you sense that through your feet, because you have blind sight for 30 feet as a giant fire beetle.
Hey! Okay. I want to say, can I change back from a fire beetle at any given...
You can, but you only have 2 wild shapes per short rest. So, be conservative.
Okay. How do I... Okay, there. I'm gonna continue down the hallway, still in fire beetle form, and see what I can gather. After I go through the hole, of course. I don't think I'm...
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. This, with the fire beetle's perception, is -1. So, that's not great. But
okay, so... minus... Well, wait. Oh, wait, right. So it doesn't affect... So it's -1 instead of +5 first. So
it's...
I get 19.
You did roll really well. So you
okay, but do I have to change it?
No, that's fine. It's a 19.
Okay.
It's a 19. So, you push on through, and you are now in a much wider room, and because of that blind sight for 30 feet, you kind of feel this kind of heavier vibration coming from another hallway, and you see there are 3 hallways in front of you. And in the middle of this room is a chest.
Chest. What does the chest look like?
It looks like it has a large clasp on the front. It's wooden with steel reinforcements on all sides. It's got heavy hinges. You don't think you're going to be able to open this as a beetle.
Okay. I'm going to change back from a beetle, given that chest being there.
Sure.
You turn back
And the
into...
vibrations don't. Yeah, the vibrations don't. Yeah, the vibrations don't fucking bode well for all.
Okay. So you turn back into you.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna take a look at that chest a little closer. Does it feel like there's anything inside?
The chest is too
Like-
heavy to move.
Too heavy to move.
Like
Okay.
you can't really rattle it to get a feel.
What else is around the room? Can I do a perception check, or is it within?
That
Close
perception, you are looking around with the same kind of attentiveness to detail that you had as the beetle. You look around, and that beetle that you came with is watching you. It seems very interested in that you're changing shape, and it's kind of following you, sticking close. You see hints of stone on the ground, just loose stones. You see that cobble you threw, and you hear kind of this coming from ways away.
Huh. Okay. I'm gonna go towards the sound, because the chest, I can't really do anything with the chest at the moment.
Sure. So you head towards the sound. There's 3 hallways in front of you. You're not really sure which hallway the sound's coming from.
Okay. Are there arches? They don't allude to anything, right? They just look all completely...
They look like plain grass.
Okay. I'm gonna head down the center one.
You head down the center one. This center one is pretty long, and as you're pushing through it, it becomes clear to you that the noise is to your left, and the hallway is about to take a right. Do you keep going?
Yes.
Okay, you look down the hallway, you take a right, and you see it's only maybe another 30-foot walk, and you come up to a wall. And in the wall is a keyhole. It's a big keyhole. You see it pretty plain as day.
Is it dark on the other side?
You can't tell. It's not. This is a stone wall.
I'm gonna back out of that hallway left then.
Okay, so you go all the way back out and you go into the left one?
Yep.
The noise gets a little louder, and the beetle's still following you pretty close. After you push up, it takes another sharp left, and then you're moving to a small corner, and you hear the noises directly to your right. Go ahead and roll me another perception check. This one with your stats, not the beetles.
Yeah.
An 8.
An 8.
The sound is kind of hard to focus on. It just sounds like... It sounds metallic and a little scraping.
Okay, I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna try and get closer.
Okay, you push around the corner, and you see a thing. It's about 30 feet away from you. You see it looks like a ball, and it's got 2 arms and 2 legs in almost humanoid fashion, but the legs are very spindly and narrow, reaching down to 2 feet. And in one hand, it has a long... It looks like a sword, but it looks like it's damaged. And then the other hand, you see, is holding onto a key. It has not noticed you.
Okay. Is it facing me?
It is not. but as you are looking at it, your beetle comes around the corner, and the light washes over the room, and immediately this construct turns around, and we got to roll initiative.
Damn it! I knew that was gonna bite me in the ass eventually.
That's okay. I didn't roll very good for initiative.
Right, it's a 0 for the roll on the advantage. It's 11. I got an 11.
Okay, you beat me. I got a 4. So.
Oh, thank God.
So you get to go first. We're gonna say the beetle goes on your turn.
Okay. I'm not in combat yet, am I?
This is very much combat.
Okay, very much. I am going to cast Thunder Wave. A wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube. Oh wait, ask how far away is this thing?
It is 30 feet from you. You can move up to it.
Then I'm not going to cast that.
You can. Your turn has movement, action, bonus action. So you can move, do an action, move some more, bonus action. You can split it up however you like. And I think you have 30 feet of movement total.
Okay. Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes D2 damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't put. Okay. Then I'm going to approach it a little closer and cast Thunder Wave.
You're going to get to 15 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the save?
Within 15 feet. The save is I think it's 13.
Is it a con?
A what?
Is it a con save or a dex save or a?
It's yeah, it's a Constitution.
Okay, I rolled a natural 19 plus 1.
Jesus.
So it's saved, which means it takes half damage.
Yeah, it's saved. Yeah, it's half damage.
Go ahead and roll damage.
And I believe. Okay, so roll D20, and this would be spell damage.
It's spell damage, so it's
or spell attack rather.
No, it's just the spell damage. So you cast a spell. There are two ways that spells work. Either you cast a spell and it makes somebody else roll a save, or you cast a spell and then you roll an attack for that spell. For Thunderwave, it's a spell that makes somebody else roll to save. So you cast the spell, the construct in front of you had to save, and you're rolling damage to determine how much damage the spell does.
Okay. So that would be a D20 plus the attack?
It would be a
modifier?
No, it's Thunderwave does 2d8 damage in thunder. So you roll 2d8s.
Okay. Plus 13 and a 5.
Okay, so you did 2d8. You only roll it once.
I did?
You only rolled 2d8 once. You rolled it twice on the roll 20. So we take the first one.
Oh, whoops. Okay, then ignore the 5 then.
It's okay. So 2d8 does 13 damage. My creature saved, so it's halved. So my creature takes 6 points of damage. and is pushed. It's not pushed back because it's saved. You see, you clap your hands together, and this wave of just sonic energy bursts out of you, and this pressure wave pushes on the ground, knocking cobble and stone in all directions, and this metal creature, whatever it is has to take 2 steps back as this blast of force just knocks into it. You see, you knock a few screws and bolts out the back of it, but it's still standing.
Okay.
That is your action and some movement. Do you want to do anything else?
I'm gonna step back a little bit.
Okay, you moved up 15 feet, so you have 15 feet of movement still. You can move back that if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna move about half.
Okay, so you move
So-
back 10 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. The creature begins to step up to whatever just attacked it. It's got very jagged movements. It's and it kind of thuds up to you with a sword raised as it gets there, and it's going to make an attack on you. And I definitely hit. Natural 18.
Okay.
So you are going to take a little bit of damage. You take 6 points of slashing damage.
Ouch! I'm at 2 points. 2 hit points.
2 hit points. Your beetle is going to step up and try and take a bite from the creature. The beetle hits. The beetle's going to deal 3 points of slashing damage as it chomps into the torso of this walking ball. And now it's your turn.
Yeah, you go. Okay, I'm gonna utilize that healing potion
Okay, it's a bonus action to drink the healing potion.
that I got. Okay.
So you swig the healing potion. I believe that is 2d4 plus 2. Let me check that. 2d4 plus 2. Yep.
Okay. So 8.
Okay, not too bad. You heal for 8 points of damage, so you basically undo the poison damage. You feel your body begin to knit itself together as you consume the kind of earthy, almost foul drink of healing salve, and you still have an action and your movement.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to, as a mutation cantrip, Thorn Whip, which
Nice.
is you create a long vine-like whip covered in thorns that lashes out at your command toward a creature in range, which is 30 feet.
It is definitely in range.
Make a melee spell attack against the... If the attack hits, the creature takes 1d6 piercing damage. If the creature is large or smaller, you pull the creature up to 10 feet.
Well, it is in melee, so you don't...
Spell damage increased by 1d6. Oh, okay.
So you can just hit it if you want.
Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna
Okay, so go ahead and roll that spell attack.
give it a good old whack. Okay.
I need a d20 plus 5. An 8.
An 8.
An 8 is not going to cut the mustard, I'm afraid. The thorn whip lashes out, and
Ugh.
it does hit the creature, but it hits it on the broad metal face, where there's this little round protrusion that it seems to be looking at you from, and it just kind of glances off the steel. No effect.
Okay. What other moves do I have? I know I can...
You have movement, but if you do try to move away from the creature, you will provoke an attack of opportunity. Which means whenever you leave a threatened square by someone, they can swing at you once. You want to take the chance?
How many times can you use it?
Once. You can only
Just for future, how many times can you use a cantrip? Okay, once per move?
Cantrip, you can use a cantrip as many times per day as you want. A cantrip is an action, usually. Sometimes they're a bonus action, but usually they're an action.
Okay. I'm not going to move. I'm going to stand my ground, but kind of just swear because that entire thing went south.
Yeah. Okay. The metallic creature, it's his turn. He's going to try and swing at you again. I rolled a natural 20. Which a natural 20 is a crit, which means that I roll the damage dice, and then I double the dice only, and then I add the damage modifier. So, we shall find out what this creature does. Okay, so that's... Okay, you take 5 points of slashing damage, because I rolled really poorly. So, the creature raises its weird kind of broken longsword up, and it slashes at your face. But you manage to get your staff in the way and slow down the strike so it does not cut quite as deep as it normally would, and you reduce the amount of damage you take. At least that's how I'm justifying that terrible roll. The beetle is now going to take another bite. And the beetle misses. I rolled a natural 5. So this kind of ratcheting, noisy construct is directly in front of you, and you have your movement action and bonus action.
What's behind it? Is there anything behind it?
You take a quick look around. It's a big open room. There is what kind of looks like a closed up well in the corner of the room. This room is pretty scarce otherwise. It seems like this was made specifically for this purpose.
Okay. Boy, I'm getting desperate here. I'm gonna try and hit it. Oh wait, no, I can't. It's not I can't do anything.
It's your turn.
Yeah,
you can hit it.
I think my turn's... Oh, is it?
It's now your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna try and hit it with my quarterstaff.
You're gonna punch it in the face?
Yeah, with the butt of my quarterstaff.
Okay. Roll an attack.
Okay.
Unless you'd rather do something else.
No, I just, how close is it to me? Because it only has a 5-foot reach.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
I'm looking at your spell list. You have Primal Savagery, which literally lets you make, as a cantrip, a melee attack that does acid damage.
Oh, acid damage! I didn't see the acid damage part. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna take back that quarterstaff, and I'm gonna cantrip cast.
It's okay, your brain.
Primal Savagery.
Okay, so your teeth and your fingernails glow into talons, and you lurch forward like a creature with like a wild animal. Go ahead and roll an attack, a d20 plus 5.
God bless. 7.
It with uncharacteristic quickness, it manages to kind of... It seems like it mostly stumbles. It's not very steady on its feet anymore. It kind of stumbles out of the way of your attack. This thing does not look like it's doing well. But then you are pretty hurt as well.
Oh, wow. I'm not doing well myself, so we're on the same page. I did not hit.
You did not hit.
So that's, I'm gonna try, as my final action or move, I'm just gonna try and distance myself from it a little, just a little. Like, maybe
if you
5 feet.
move even 5 feet away, it will get to swing at you. You still want to do that?
No, because it's had better rolls than me so
Okay.
far. So I think I'll just that'll be my
thing.
turn.
Another thing, I'm looking at your character sheet.
Yep.
You have 1 spell slot left. You do have
Yes.
you do have the spell Healing Word. You can cast Healing Word as a bonus action. And you have a bonus action.
Okay.
So you could cast that if you want to.
Yeah. You know, actually, that would probably be a good idea because it's not working out so.
Were you saving that spell slot
Yeah.
for another Thunder Wave?
Yeah, but
You could take the risk. You could try and survive the next if he manages to hit you, and cast Thunder Wave, which will probably do him in because he's on his last leg. Or you could cast Healing Word
His
and
last leg.
you'll. He's clattering and stumbling. You watch bolts and screws fall out of him. He's not doing well.
Alright. Yeah. Well, no, because it's not just that. I was like, I'm not sure if there was like another person or creature in here.
Oh,
but
you
yeah,
don't know
I
that.
think I'll cast Thunder Waves. I know. That's why I was saving it. It's like, I don't know. Am I gonna have to do this again? Yeah. I'm still gonna cast Thunder Wave.
You do also have the option to turn into another animal.
Yes.
So, you're not out of tricks yet.
Nope.
Okay, so.
Alright. Let's see, what was it? It was, roll 2d8.
You can cast that on your next turn if you're going to cast Thunder Wave.
Yep.
That's what you're going to do? Okay, so.
Yep.
You're taking the risk. You're gonna see if you survive this turn. Let's find out. The rattling construct in front of you is going to step forward and swing at you one more time. And I rolled a natural 1. Okay. So, it kind of lurches past you, stumbling forward, and the sword kind of clatters into the ground, and it's reeling and misses. Now it's the beetle's going to swing at him. The beetle hits. The beetle deals 1 point of slashing damage.
What a good beetle!
And now it's your turn. You have your movement action and bonus action.
Okay, I'm gonna lead the charge with that Thunder Wave.
I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave. Okay. I need to make a save. I fail. I rolled a natural 9 plus 1. Okay. So roll 2d8.
Okay. Plus anything?
Nope. Just 2d8.
Okay.
9.
A 9.
9 points of damage, and he takes all of it. So, you are up in melee. This creature is right in your face, and you just shove both your hands out, and again, for the second time, just boom, and a huge, shattering, loud noise, just a burst of energy splits from your fingers and spreads out on a huge cone in front of you. This metallic monster, whatever this is, gets picked up by that energy wave, and it seems like as the energy passes through it, it just is immediately translated into dust as it disintegrates. Just sparkling steel dust spreads across the ground in front of you. The broken longsword and the key falling to the ground.
Is the beetle okay? Because he was in that.
I need to save for him. The beetle saves and dies.
Oh, thank God. No! My beetle!
Yeah. I'm afraid they do not have much hit points. So, in the after effect of the thunder wave, your beetle curls up onto his back and moves on to the next life.
I'm gonna send him off with some prayers.
Okay.
My poor beetle. I knew him well.
You say goodbye to
Gonna grab the key.
your fire beetle. Okay. You are out.
Yep, I'm gonna grab the key.
Okay, you grab the key. It's heavy, and it's, now that you're looking at it, it's a heavy bronze key, and it's huge, like it fills your hand.
Okay. Now the question is, does it look like it would go to the door? Not the door, but the keyhole in the center hallway, or would it go to the chest?
Roll me an intelligence check.
Okay.
An 11?
11.
You're not sure,
Yep.
but there's one way to find out.
Okay. I'm gonna go try the chest first.
Okay. You approach the chest, and you're holding the key and you're looking at the front of the chest, and the chest doesn't appear to have a lock. Roll me an investigation check on the chest, another one.
Okay.
Six. I would say this is pretty obvious. There is scratching on the top of the treasure chest. What languages do you speak?
I speak Druid, Elvish, Sylvan, and Common. Oh, yeah, Druid, Common, Druidic, Dwarvish, Elvish, Sylvan.
You speak Sylvan.
Yes.
Okay. So, you look, and you see there is a... It's... One second, I gotta pull this up. It's not coming up. Okay. You see there is a inscription, and you read it, and it's in Sylvan, and it seems like it's a riddle. What always...
Oh, boy.
Are you ready?
Yup.
What always runs but never walks, often murmurs but never talks, has a bed but never sleeps, and has a mouth but never eats.
What always runs, never walks. One more time.
What always runs but never walks, often murmurs but never talks, has a bed but never sleeps, has a mouth but never eats.
Okay. Shit, do I have a pen and paper so I can tell it? Or is it voice activated?
You don't know. Roll me, as you're looking over this chest, you see that there are thin cracks in the wood, but they're too narrow to actually see through it. You see it's kind of on this little... As you look at the bottom of the chest, you see it's sitting on a little bit of sand just around the edges.
Was I supposed to roll something?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you can if you want your character to give a shot at the riddle. If you don't want to give it, if you don't want to try.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my character give just this time.
Roll
See if I can.
and roll a wisdom check for your character.
20. Okay. I hope I get that.
8.
An 8.
Roll a perception check on the chest.
20.
20. That's the first good roll for this sort of shit you've had. So, looking at the chest,
Right.
You're looking over it and you're puzzling out this riddle, and you don't really have a clue what the riddle means, but you do notice there is a little bit of what looks like rot or mildew on the very top of the chest. Just a spot of it.
Can I try scratch at that mildew? See if it comes off?
It does. It scratches away with a little bit of the wood. It's like the wood is rotten from moisture, which is odd to you because the air down here is particularly dry.
Is there water any?
You remember
Let's
seeing
see.
a
Can I
well
look for water?
in the other...
A well.
You do also have a water skin.
I do. I'm just gonna kind of be a dunce and set the water skin on top of the... Just set it on there. I'm not gonna pour any water on it. I'm just gonna set the water skin on it. See if it doesn't...
You kind of set it... Doom, nothing happens.
Yep. Nothing happens. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna try pouring water on it.
You pour water on the chest.
Just a little... Yep.
The chest opens.
Yay! Okay. What's inside? Let's see. I'm gonna take a look at what's inside.
You see a small rock and a scroll.
I'm gonna pick up the scroll first and take a look at
The
it.
scroll is a scroll of casting lightning bolt. It's a 3rd level damaging spell.
And the rock?
You pick up the rock, you kind of turn it over in your hands, and it seems just like a rock. You look closer at it, and you see there are some runes on one side of it.
Huh. What kind of runes?
They're arcane. You don't know what they mean.
Okay. I'm going to do a... It's not a spell. Is it a spell? No. Not an Arcana check, because I don't think I have that.
You can do
I
an
think
Arcana
it was
check.
Detect magic. Okay. Well, then I'll do an Arcana check.
Roll it. D20 plus your, I think, Arcana, or... Yeah, Arcana.
Yeah.
Hey, you were
Which I think
proficient.
is a
That's excellent.
plus
So plus 3.
Fuck!
6. Even with a 6, this is a common arcane item.
Okay.
This is a sending stone. You've seen them before.
Okay. There's nothing else in the chest.
Nope. It's a little wet now.
There's no writing in the chest. That's a little wet now. Yeah.
No, you don't see any writing.
Okay. I'm gonna pocket my water skin, the rock, and the scroll.
As soon as you put the rock in your pocket, you hear a voice say, "Hey, I knew you'd figure it out.
Oh, folly!
Go ahead and put
Did you fight the guy? Did you fight the robot guy?
The metal guy? Yeah, I fought your robot guy.
Awesome. Karth had a good time building that. Go ahead and just, if you find the door, come on through. You've passed.
The door, you mean that one with the big...
I can't answer any
keyhole?
questions.
Oh, alright. I will be on my way. I guess I'm going down the hall with the big keyhole and see if I can make it through that door.
The key fits.
Yeah.
And
Oh wait, can I use the key again?
you never used the key.
Oh wait, that's right. I did never use the key. Oh my god, I'm so focused. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go see if the key fits in that stone door.
Okay. You slide the key into the keyhole, and it fits.
Awesome.
As you turn...
Throw my hands up, and I head through.
As you turn it, ka-chunk, the stone to the side, and you are looking in the hallway right outside of Folly's room. And standing there looking at you is Folly, and his arms are wide open, and he says, "I knew it! Ha ha! Give me a hug!" And he's stepping up to you.
I give him a hug.
Okay. He's a furbolg. He's a really big guy. Furbolgs are basically giants.
I lost a beetle friend.
Oh, no. Well, there's like millions of them, so you can find another. But I'm proud of you.
I thank you, Folly. You taught me well.
Hey, I know. Now go ahead, get yourself some rest, get yourself some food, and tomorrow morning, it's the assigning ceremony. So good job.
Okay, I'm gonna head out. Myself some rest.
Okay. It's like afternoon, so you can spend the rest of the day doing whatever you like. But congratulations, you have passed your trial. You are now level 3.
Yes! Does my health return to normal? Because it's going to be a long rest?
It will be a long rest after you eat and stuff. So, congratulations, you have passed your druid trial. You get to bump your level up, you get to get yourself a long rest, and then for the first session of the campaign, we are going to have everyone be assigned their teams, and that's how we're going to start. So, good job.
Okay.
You did it without dying.
I know. I was worried there when I dropped down to 2. I was like, it's over. It's done for me. I didn't even make it halfway through that trial.
It was supposed to be a little tricky, but you survived the construct combat. So that, as a druid, you're going to be stuck in the front line pretty often. So.